Welcome to our unboxing series. Today we're going to go over the Lansinoh Thrive 2-in-1 breast pump. We're going to go through the special features of this pump, what's included in the box, how to set it up, how to use it, and then care and cleaning. And by the way, if you haven't gotten your pump through insurance yet, please reach out to us at aceleron.com/order and we'll help get that process started for you. The special features of this pump are in the name. So it's the Thrive 2-in-1 breast pump. It gives you two pumping options, a standard flange kit, but also a hands-free kit with the cups that you can wear in bra. Another special feature is that you might notice this pump is really small and it does have a belt clip here, so it's really lightweight. Lastly, they do also include size inserts for 21mm, and the special feature around that is these work in both the wearable cups as well as the standard flanges. Let's jump into how to assemble this. Now we do need to take this in two pieces because you do have two options. We're going to start with the standard flange kit first. So we typically have the fully set up ones over here, so you can see that, and we're going to go bottom to top with the standard flange kit. We do have a 5 fluid ounce storage capacity bottle with a wide neck opening, and if you use this bottle for milk storage, they do include caps for that. When we move to the rest of the flange head, we're going to come to our connector here. Below the connector is where your duckbill valve will go. Now the Lansinoh duckbill valves are clear, so you can see that there. And Lansinoh does recommend when you put your duckbill valve on to line up that line at the bottom with where the actual breast shield will face. So once that's on there, we can attach our storage bottle or collection bottle. Then we have the top where we have our diaphragm. The diaphragm on this pump is what makes it a closed system to keep your tubing clean, because nothing should go in your tubing but air, so nothing should flow through it. The diaphragm can only sit on here one way. You do want to make sure that it is all the way around, all that lip is over, and then you have a simple cap. So it doesn't need to twist on in any way, shape, or form. You're just going to simply push it into place with the tubing facing away from where your breast shield will enter. The breast shield goes on right here, and you'll notice that they are a silicone edge, so that soft edge flange there. And this is how you set up the collection kit for the standard flange. Now let's move over to the wearable cups. So these are a little bit different. We're going to start with our main piece here for the flange, where you can see that diaphragm piece on top and a part where the actual duckbill valve will go. So we'll start with the duckbill valve again. We're making sure that we put that right on there, again facing in this sort of direction with this opening where the flange will go. We'll also put our diaphragm on top. Same thing, making sure that lip is fully around, all there. And then we have our collection cup itself, where you see this little cap right here where your tubing will go. We're going to take this with the opening facing away, and we're going to press that diaphragm up and in to the top of that collection cup. You're then going to take your breast shield, which is a silicone shield, and you'll notice that at the opening here, there's 2 layers. So that inner layer is going to go on the inside of that tunnel, and that outer layer is going to go around it. So you want to line that up, make sure that goes in there, and you're also going to line up the top of the breast shield with the pour spout. Everything should be fully sealed all the way around, and making sure that everything is in there nice and sturdy. Once it's fully assembled, it should look like this. Once either collection kit that you're going to use is assembled, you do have the option, as we mentioned, of those inserts to size down to a 21mm. Both inserts can be used on both types of collection kits. For your tubing, you're going to have a Y connector here. The Y connector, the longer piece of tubing, is going to go towards the pump motor. And on the pump motor, there's a little opening on the bottom. All sides of the tubing do have adapters that you can see, that little white adapter, and it's going to go all the way into the line to the pump motor itself. Now the shorter pieces of the Y tubing is how you can go between single or double pumping. So if you're going to pump both sides or just one. If you're double pumping, you're going to connect to whatever kit you're using, whether it is the wearable kit, and this cap does turn if your tubing needs to face a slightly different direction, or your standard kit. If you're going to be single pumping, you wouldn't have both sides out. So what you'll do is you'll take one adapter off, attach the other one to where you would like to pump, and then there's this little spout here where you're going to take that open tubing without the adapter, place it on top so that no air gets into that tubing, because if it does, you won't have suction on the side you're trying to pump on. And that is your full setup of your pump. The other things to note for assembly, at the top of the pump motor is where your charging port is. So you'll see right there underneath that silicone cap. And then you also have this belt clip, which is removable, so don't feel like you have to use it, but it is really handy if you need it. Using the Lansinoh Thrive 2-in-1 is the same between either collection kit. You have your power button in the middle, and you're going to press and hold for a few seconds to turn it on. It will turn on in whatever level and phase you put it in, or you were in last time when you turned it off. So what you're going to do is you're going to start in the 2-droplet mode for stimulation. You'll notice that it has a timer in the middle, and it says a level. It does have 9 levels of strength in both phases or modes, and it also has the option to change the speed or the pattern of the pulls. You're going to do that by pressing and holding the mode button down here. That L will turn to an H, and when you've had your letdown or your milk starts to flow, you can then choose that mode button with a quick press to switch over to expression mode. Again, you have the 9 levels of suction strength, so find what is comfortable for you, and you can go between high or low for that speed in this second expression mode as well. When you finish pumping, you just press and hold that power button. It turns it right off, and again, when you turn it back on, it will remember the settings in the mode you left off on. You also have a play pause here, so if at any time you need to pause your pumping session, you'll know you're in pause because you see the play button and the timer is blinking. Press again to start when you're ready. We also wanted to let you know that when you go to single pumping and you take that adapter off so that you can close off the other tubing, make sure you don't lose this adapter because you will need it to pump double-sided next time. Now let's jump into cleaning for your Lansinoh Thrive 2-in-1 breast pump. So there are a lot of pieces to clean, but you're not going to clean them every time. And as a gentle reminder, when we go through cleaning, we typically follow the guidelines set out by the CDC. The overarching premise there is that you're going to clean your pump collection kit, whatever one you use, after every pumping session. So if you pump 3 times a day, you're washing it 3 times a day. And then also sanitizing at least once a day. That's especially important for any babies that are born prematurely, any babies under 3 months old, or any babies with a sensitive immune system. Now with the Thrive, you do have some pieces that don't need to get washed. They include the bra adapters that we showed earlier, and these are only used if you need them, and they're not going to touch the milk, so those can go to the side. The motor and the tubing are also not going to be cleaned by being submerged in water. You can wipe them down if you need to, but remember that nothing goes in your tubing but air, and so that's why we don't have to clean those parts. When it comes to our collection kits and all of the things here, we're going to do a few different steps. The first thing, if you don't use your inserts, you also don't have to worry about those. But if you do use them, we're going to take them out and separate them from our other parts. When we separate our parts, you're going to take everything apart. So your silicone insert if you use it, but also our diaphragms, our duckbill valves, and everything away from that connector. So that's the wearable cup. For our standard flanges, that cap, the diaphragm, the flange, our main body, and don't forget that duckbill valve underneath. Lansinoh recommends boiling these parts before first use for 5 minutes. So any of the parts that you're going to use, we recommend just boiling all of them so you have them ready to go, whether it's the standard kit or the wearable, so that if you choose to use it later, you have it clean and ready. So that is before first use. But after every pumping session, they also recommend to wash it. So when we wash it, we're going to take whatever parts we used, fully separate it, rinse off any excess breast milk droplets, and then you're going to soak them in some warm soapy water for about 5 minutes. And that warm soapy water is meant to be in a clean, separate bowl from the rest of your food dishes. Wash as you normally would, and then rinse and let them air dry. For sanitizing, Lansinoh recommends taking your parts and putting them in a large stock pot with a few inches of water above the parts themselves and boil for 5 minutes. You'll take them out of that boiling water very carefully, put them to the side, and let them air dry. And that's it for cleaning. So the reason why we have this unboxing series is because we truly care about supporting you through the journey from prenatal all the way through postpartum and even a return to work. So outside of this YouTube playlist that we have here for unboxings, we also have additional support videos as well as one-on-one consults and more. Plus, the majority of our resources are available in English as well as Spanish, including our website. So if you ever feel like you need more support, please reach out to us at aceleron.com and we can support you along the way.